This is the Thayer podcast for Thursday, November 14th, 2024. Remembering back in the late 20th century and into the 2000s, I was a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat. Yep, I even spent a good number of those years as vice chairman of the Gila County Democrat Party. My wife Claudette and I moved to Globe, Arizona from Tucson in 1992. We were both Republicans at the time. As parents and residents of the old Pueblo for some 25 years, we participated in cultural, social, and political activities. During the 1972 election cycle, I even served on the Pima County Republican Central Committee. Early on in Globe, I was invited to participate in regular Saturday morning breakfasts with a baker's dozen of Gila County's top political movers and shakers. They were all Democrats. At one time, former Arizona Governor Rose Mofford explained that nothing happened in the Arizona legislature without passing the scrutiny of the Globe Breakfast Bunch. I was the token Republican. That was until I caught Representative J.D. Hayworth in a bald-faced lie about his progress obtaining funding for a critical local water project. Not long after I had re-registered as a Democrat, the party elected me their vice chairman. I was the second in command in Gila County, Arizona for 9 years. I even ran for public office, albeit unsuccessfully, twice back in the day. Just before the second election cycle of the 21st century, I re-registered as NPD, no party designated. There was no recognized Arizona Independent Party at the time. Gila County Democrats, who were already more conservative than Tucson Republicans, had become wary of the continuous push to the left by the national organization, and it wasn't long before Gila County flipped from blue to red. As it stands now, all 16 elected offices in Gila County are held by Republicans, except the clerk of the Superior Court, one of the two constables, and one of the two justices of the peace. Claudette and I had moved to Tucson from our first home in Aptos, California. Our second child, dear little daughter Fair Janet, had been born in Santa Cruz only 3 months before we moved to the old Pueblo. Our son John had been born a year and a half earlier in Carmel. We bought our second ever home in Tucson, and I proceeded to rebuild radio station KIKX and became their morning DJ when we went on the air in early summer of 1967. I was the chief engineer as well. Politics never entered my mind until one day when I was chatting with my brother Bill, who had also moved to Tucson, about our Arizona heritage. Our great-granduncle John Hance was the first to explore the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and he became renowned nationwide for his tales of the Wild West. John's brother George Hance, my great-grandfather, lived in Camp Verde. He was the first circuit judge in northern Arizona, master of his Masonic Lodge, and the first secretary of the Republican Party of the Territory of Arizona. The whole Hance bunch were Republicans and ranchers, even the young teachers. George Hance was the original owner of the Quarter Circle V-Bar Ranch, and my mom is said to have been the first teacher at what became the world-renowned Orm Ranch School back when it was a one-room adobe. Both my mom and dad became highly respected educators, and so was my little sister Mandy. What still amazes me to this day is that not one of my relatives was ever a Democrat. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Semper Fi.